It looks like the withdrawal of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger from Ecowas has been felt very hard. Today, Shameless, the African Union, has reacted to their withdrawal, and they have released, published a statement from the chairperson, His Excellency Faki Mohammed. Now, let's go into it. And I'm going to share with you. But before that, hello, I am Mahlet, Ayele, your host at Connect Africa, bringing you the latest from the continent and particularly from the Sahel states as we update you here on daily basis. So yesterday I have shared with you what has been released, a communique from the ECOWAS itself saying that it is still waiting for notification, a formal notification from these three Sahel states. Now, the African Union, actually, what it said is that it's advising, it says urgently, communique of the chairperson of the African Union Commission on the withdrawal of three ECOWAS member states. Okay, this is what it says. The chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Moussa Faki Mohammed, learned with deep regret the announcement of the withdrawal of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso from ECOWAS. The African Union Commission chairperson calls for the pooling of all efforts so that the irreplaceable unity of ECOWAS be preserved and African solidarity be enhanced. Wow. I'm gonna come back on that. I will comment on each things that he has raised, but let me read through. Now, the African Union Commission chairperson calls up on the regional leaders to intensify dialogue between the leaders of ECOWAS and the three above mentioned countries. In this regard, he expresses the full readiness of the African Union Commission to give all assistance within its power to ensure the success of the logic of brotherly dialogue, far from any external interference from any quarter. Wow, what a message. Now, the irony is this is really laughable because the African Union itself is one of those organizations that has banned the membership of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. When when the revolution happened, when the government has changed, immediately the African Union has taken the action to ban these member states. So now for it to come and to say, okay, we are urging you for dialogue and to restore the irreplaceable solidarity of the ECOWAS or unity of ECOWAS, it's really, what about, why don't you look at, in the same mirror at yourself and what you have done to these states? The African Union has alienated these member states. You have denied them a voice. What about where was the African Union when ECOWAS actually banned them from membership, when they sanctioned them, when they imposed all types of sanctions against the people of Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso? Where was the African Union? Did you stood up and say, okay, you have to resolve your problem by dialogue, and please let the basic needs go to the needy, like the food, the medicine, to the women, to the children? Did you say that? For you now to come out and talk about solidarity and unity, I mean, is this really about the ego of the unity of the ECOWAS? Is this what worries you? Just like what ECOWAS said, oh, we have not been notified. It's all, it just sounds like an ego rather than that you really care about the unity of the region. So this is really a double standard, because where were you when they were banned from membership from ECOWAS, when they were alienated, when the sanction was imposed against them? It was, who was there? These three states was just there for each other. Nobody stepped in to help them. When they were denied, we're not talking about luxury things, when they were denied basic needs of the people. Now for you, Musa Muhammad Faki, to come out and to talk about ECOWAS. So you're just supporting ECOWAS, just to restore the honor of ECOWAS, because now how dare you, Sahel states, you are leaving ECOWAS. That's how it translates for me. That's how this communique is toned. That's how your words are meant. If we are really splitting it, you're not caring about the people. You're not caring about really the endangered security of the Sahel states. You're not talking about, the various problems these Sahel states are facing because of the sanctions. And you talk about, at the end of the communique, about interference. It's really, I don't know, because if the ECOWAS is banning them, if the African Union is banning them, where do they go then? They have to go outside of the continent. They have to look for they have to step out of the continent and look for those countries who see them as equal partner, who value them for what they have, and start relationship outside of the continent. And then when those countries come and, start relationship with them, then you call it, like Burkina Faso and Mali and Niger, they have kicked out France and this and that for Russia, for Iran, or whatever, whatever you have, because you are not there. No African country is there for them to help them, to step in, to fill the gap. Where should they go? And this is really disgusting, ridiculous, and embarrassing for the African Union. But should we expect any better anyway? You have to restore, if you care about the unity of ECOWAS, in the same way you have to care about the unity of the African Union. When you ban them, why don't you restore their membership? Because France told you to ban them? Why don't you do it? Then ECOWAS you lead by example, you restore their membership, and then ECOWAS, I'm sure, will follow, will apologize or whatever, recognize, and, start a dialogue. But you have to lead by example. You're not talking about the African Union banning those countries. Why don't you talk about that in this communique? Why just about ECOWAS? You think people are not informed? You have denied these countries their voice, because if they were under the African Union, if the African Union, protected them, you could have been their voice when the European Union banned them, denied them funds, when the US denied them funds, when the IMF and all those, so-called international institutions denied them the funds that are going to the people. You could have been a voice, as you are an umbrella of the member states. You could have been a voice and, mediated between those financial institutions who are imposing the sanctions against these states. And you could have done, a very commendable job. And we could have, appreciated you and say, this is what we expect from the African Union. In fact, you will get really a positive reward by doing that. So all what I am saying is that, in the same mirror, look at yourself. You did the same thing like what ECOWAS did to these states. So you have to lead by example and restore the membership of Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. Then you can talk about ECOWAS. Anyway, let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this, about the African Union reacting this way, completely ridiculous. They are doing the same thing and they want to, urge them to dialogue. Why don't you engage these states? Why don't you engage them? Why don't you invite them to the African Union? Why don't you talk to them? Why don't you pick up the phone, for that matter, and talk to them? Yeah, So share your view. What do you think of this? And thanks again for tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you like what we bring you here, please give it thumbs up. And if you share the video with your network, it will help our YouTube algorithm as we empower each other with knowledge and information. Yeah, if you want to help us further, you can go ahead and donate to our PayPal account. That will help us to be here more often. Thanks again, and I will see you on the next one. But for now, it's a bye-bye for me for now. Ciao, ciao.